Hello and welcome to episode 16. I'm unhappy. Check your expectations. What? Like me, you may have experienced lots of ups and downs. Well, I know you have. We are human beings on this planet, so we experience ups and downs. And you may have reached a point like I did, however, where I started to think, I'm unhappy, I'm unfulfilled, I feel kind of dissatisfied, and I should feel grateful. And something's got to change. Uh, Maybe, like me, you tried rearranging all the outside circumstances in life. You might have changed jobs, you might have changed partners, you might have moved. Now you know none of that worked because you're here again, feeling that dissatisfaction, that sense of unhappiness. So now you're not so willing to jump at changing the outside circumstances because you've done that and it didn't seem to make a difference. Now you're wondering if you need to change something about yourself. You feel pretty good about a lot of things in your life. You've learned a lot on the way. Your job isn't half bad. You're relatively happy with your relationships with family and friends, and yet I want to speak to that. And yet, we hear happiness is an inside job, and don't I know that's true? And as simple as that statement is, it isn't easy. It's not easy. Simple does not mean easy. What about, for an example, that office bully who undermines you once again? What about the partner? And when your partner and you disagree on a big topic like money or sex, if you're like me, my happiness flies out the window in a cloud of anger and frustration and a sense of defeat. Honestly, sometimes I've given my happiness away and it seems so justified, right? What I hope you gain from my podcast or coaching relationship from me or my 8-week program are insights and inspiration into those areas in life where the magic really happens inside. Happiness really is an inside job. And I'd like to connect you to what gets in the way of stopping that next level of happiness, that empowerment, that feeling of fulfillment that you can have in life, that you know you can have in life. You sense it. You've experienced little pieces of it from time to time, and you want more. I also hope you gain new ways of approaching your life with tools that you can change in life challenges, because that's where the rubber meets the road in those life challenges, right? Relationships, prosperity, uh, careers, all the places, personalities where we bump up against other personalities, all those places where there's a challenge. I'd like if you can identify some tools that work for you, tools that move you forward. And I hope you gain the support that you need that helps you to take some of those most scary steps, those steps to looking at yourself and identifying what it is about you that isn't working. And it's not so much about changing as about letting go of habits that aren't bringing you the results that you want in life, that connection with your partner, that happiness with your place in life. And I'd really like you to recognize that you're not alone. I'm in your corner, and I know what's on the other side is so worth it. So let's get started on today's topic. I'm unhappy. Check your expectations. What? Each of us is on a hero's journey in life, whether it's with our health, our relationships, our career, but we don't look at it that way, do we? We just call it living. But if you take a step back, you're really your own hero in your own story. What's your journey been like so far? Think about for a moment what you've achieved even in the past 5 years. Where were you 5 years ago? That was 2016, August of 2016. Wow, I was still working my corporate job. I still had feelings and thoughts. I'm a little unhappy and dissatisfied, but I should be grateful. Or this is life, I can't expect more. Or if I leave this job, there will be another office bully, there will be other challenges. I don't want to start over. There was patterns going on, patterns with that office bully, patterns with office gossip, tensions around decisions and vision and what I wanted to see. There was also lack of support from my superiors, and yet there was a whole lot I enjoyed too. The people I worked with, the flexibility of my job, the depth and breadth of the experience I was able to have there because they had several businesses and I had a lot of responsibility. And every day I learned things new. Every day, a new industry, a new something new. It was amazing in so many ways. So fast forward 2021, here I am in an entirely different career. And I love this too. And there's so much to appreciate about my journey along the way. But that's not what our topic is about today. Where do you want that hero's journey that you're on to take you next? Why don't we start with talking about expectations of yourself? Some of those expectations are pretty high, aren't they? I should be perfect. I should be able to achieve what I want. I should be able to marshal my resources, set myself in motion, and get that outcome that I really desire. I should know how to parent. I should know how to perform my job, and I should be happy with what I have. And we may have high expectations of others too. They should listen to me. They should know what I want. They should perform how I told them to. They should change to suit me. Underneath that is the expectation that it's their job to make me happy. But that's something we'll talk about later. Did you notice as I listed those comments off, they all come from your head? Thoughts that you may not even notice. And if you do notice them, you're quick to justify them. You're right, and others are wrong. Blaming. Blaming is a big tool that doesn't really bring connection, compassion, empathy, or love. Take the office bully, for example. You might feel really justified in blaming that office bully. You may expect them to change because their behavior is disruptive, negative, difficult to engage with, and generally aggressive and sometimes just mean. You feel very justified in expecting that they should change. And your conditioning in life from others and our peers supports that thinking. But I wonder what might happen if instead of the next time you have a meeting with this person, you step back instead of saying, I know how they get. When I bring up the decision I've made, they will oppose it. They will act condescending. And when I stick to my guns, they will go to my superior and explain how I'm wrong and that I should do it their way. In fact, undermining me. What if instead of expecting that outcome, you show up at that meeting and you say to yourself, no expectations about how this will go. I don't know. This is a new moment, new meeting, new opportunity. Instead of saying, I know how it will go, say, I'm going to look for ways to not judge this interaction as being the same as it always is. I'm going to find one comment that they make that is supportive to me. I'm going to look for one place that I can agree with them. And then build from there. Will that person change? Probably not. Will you change? Yes. Yes, you will. Is it hard? Absolutely, because everything inside you is screaming to say, there, they did it again. Same old BS. And I don't like it, and I don't have to put up with this. So pause. Breathe. Say that approach isn't getting me what I want. It's just a pattern that's repeating itself over and over and over. And if there's going to be a new way, it's up to me. They don't have to change. Try that on and see how it fits. It might not fit right away. Believe me, it didn't fit me right away. What? They don't have to change? They're the ones that are ridiculous. They're the ones that are so wrong. But what does change and what you gain is a new freedom from your own patterns of judging, expecting, and you get a new perspective. As hard as it is to interact with a personality like that, stop and remember they are on their hero's journey too. And finding common ground might diffuse the discussion, but more important, you start to see the person beyond the behavior. With practice, you may find you are on completely different footing with them. And by practice, I don't mean 1 or 2 times, believe me, not with these deeply ingrained behaviors. You need to practice over and over again. They won't change. Probably not, but you will. Promise. I know you. I know you might not believe that right now, but it's true. Why do we develop expectations? The big reason is we all want certainty in life. So in milliseconds, our brains assess the situation and pull up an example from the past. And let me repeat that. Our brains assess and reference the past and automatically expects this situation to be a repeat of what we may have experienced before. It could be a recent experience with someone or repeated experiences that we've interpreted the same way over and over. Or they could just remind us of someone from our past. But the critical part is, it is the past. And it's how we create a present that looks just like our past. We want a new moment, don't we? We want something that works better for us and for that other person. If it's not for that person right away, stick with it's better for me. So what do we do about it? Here are tips to use to, number 1, become aware of your own thinking, and number 2, to choose a different approach. So number 1, becoming aware of your own thinking. The easiest way for me to do that is to assess my feelings. How do I feel? Set an alarm 4 times a day if you need to, if you're not in touch with your feelings. If you find that you live in your head more than down in your feeling heart, then start to connect with that. It's a journey on your hero's quest that won't lead you wrong. Assess those feelings, and when that alarm goes off, ask yourself, am I feeling angry, sad, frustrated, discontented? What am I feeling? Or are you feeling happy, peaceful, and content? The more honest you are about how you feel, the more progress you can make. Because your feelings will tell you what you're thinking. If you have negative feelings, ask yourself, what were my expectations? What did I expect this outcome to be? What did I expect this interaction to be? Not to judge yourself good or bad or wrong, just to say, what did I expect? And stop there. You might get stuck on, it's my right. What do I mean by that? It's my right to expect my son to pick up his room. It's my right to expect my husband to remember my birthday. It's my right to expect my employee to arrive to work on time. And to that, I'll ask you this. Do you want to be right, or do you want to be happy? For our purposes, let's set aside your rights. Get at your expectations. Become aware of them. Choosing a different approach. It could be as simple as picturing a shield in front of you before you go into a situation you know you react to. What used to set you off bounces off that shield and you remain neutral. It could be an inner discussion like I outlined before you have an interaction with a bully. Because all of life's situations are neutral. They're not good, they're not bad. We're the ones who give them the interpretations. So pause and ask yourself, what is present that causes you to judge this as bad? An underlying expectation that wasn't met? Maybe it will be useful to you to remember the most fundamental tool I use with this topic of my own personal expectations. Make requests. It's okay to request anything in life. It's okay to request your son pick up his room. It's okay to request that your husband remember your birthday. It's okay to request that your employee be to work on time. And it's okay to request a bully to interact with you with more cooperation and kindness. If I'm upset, however, when that doesn't happen, when those outcomes don't come, then my request was really a demand. And it was based on an expectation. People can say no to a request, believe it or not. I had a hard time personally believing that. I thought, no, they don't. Especially in interactions with people closest to me. And it took me a long time to recognize they can deny a request. People can say no. And if they do deny that request or say no, then I'm free to assess other choices that I might have now to take action based on love and kindness for myself. It doesn't mean I get to try to convince them that they need to do it my way. I get to step back and be okay. Allow a situation to be exactly what it is in the moment and not judge it good or bad. Why worry about expectations at all in the first place? Because we want to be happy, right? We all want happiness, and we want to be free to experience the present in ways that work for us and others, that bring a sense of fulfillment, of peace, of deep satisfaction. Is that possible? Yes, absolutely, that's possible. And is it simple? Yes. Yes, it's simple. Is it easy? Not always. I hope you found value in our discussion today. I'd love it if you emailed me your thoughts on this topic. info@vickidawn.com. VICKIDAWN.com. Thank you so much for being here and sharing with me today, even though I'm not hearing your voice coming back at me. Thank you for your presence. If you enjoyed the show, please like it and leave a review. Please share it with people that you think may find value. You can connect with me on several ways by going to my Linktree, https://linktr.ee/Vicki Dawn. And as always, until next time, remember, you create your beautiful life, one moment, one step at a time. Bye now.